This is a short video to talk about my HRE sessions that I've just had. So this was a session of Boost with Nelly, and it's come back to being linked with the Sylph. The Sylph being a humanoid creature, great consciousness, great consciousness on another planet, a bluish skin, feet with palms. And she didn't say about the hair, the eyes were very large and very blue. And that Sylph has very bright energy, extremely bright energy. And it's chosen to come from the Sylph straight into the human body. But when I was born, when I was incarnated, it's not I, the consciousness fell down into the body, created issues with the physical body at the time with my physical body because it fell too quickly into it. And not only that, but at the time of my incarnation, they introduced my mother with something else, which was tether, a thing that like a frog spore that goes into a little thing that goes like that. And that was to mess about with my DNA, so it would then be sort of confused. So I wouldn't know who I was, and I'd forget everything about the life in the other planet. The session was amazing. I can't tell you more about it because I feel it's not for me to tell, but you can go and watch the session if you want. This Sylph person was called Andrea, and the consciousness didn't want much to do with my physical existence because it's sad. Life is sad. It's not like you can have as many high frequencies as you want, but it's always low frequency in a sense. There's so much to say. There's a lot of because where do I go? There's so much. The fibroid, there was a consciousness co-creating with me that didn't want to leave my consciousness, really wanted to be incarnated in a way. So the consciousness told it to go and seek another suitable body to incarnate. It was a boy, and it was really cute, apparently, really beautiful boy, human. So that's gone. The fibroid is holding on to a lot of toxins, which is what I've learned, because sexual organs are being used as deposits, like bins, for our system, when our system can't cope with toxins. Same with the nails, it's toxin. So I've got to detoxify. She's recommended Ayurveda. I may look into it. She said something like Kirk or curd, not curd, obviously. K-U-R, cur. K-U-R? Don't know what that is in terms of Ayurvedic. I've got to be careful because I don't want to be taking anything medicinal. I've got to look into detoxifying naturally, which I do already anyway. I do. I eat well. I drink filtered water, which is filtered without plastics. I don't use plastics. I'm living the best life I could. I could look into more putting food together, as in not eating certain food with others. So I don't really want to go doing that anymore, but I could look into it if Ayurvedic wise it's useful. There is something about So detoxification, maybe I should take zeolite every day. But my issue with that is if I take it every day, then my body doesn't learn to detoxify its guts on its own. What else came up with a session? That my DNA is open and that it's light, it emits light, like all our DNAs emit light, if we remember it does. And as a result, I can tap into anything I want, and they've been trying to stop this happening by slowing me down, I suppose. The fibroid is probably helped being grown by them, really. That I don't need to meditate, that my light can be coming out through my drawings. She said painting. I'm not a natural painter. And I said about the music, but that didn't get picked on, so I mustn't lose heart and think that I'm not supposed to do music, that I should be doing painting and drawing instead. I don't agree with that, it's not the place I'm at, but also I must not force myself to think this has got to be that way. No. The questions, if I look at the questions, the creative blockages and sexual blockages coming from that, the confusion of the identity, not to feel woman-like. So my consciousness doesn't give a shit. I've got a female body, but it doesn't care if I am female or male. It's a bit like modern, isn't it? But in a way, the self being called Andre, which is man, and Andra, as in Alexandra. It said something confusion-wise. The name Claude was given because I didn't finish, sort of finished, but didn't, to do with the little things that swims in water like this, that was in my mother's, it was in the same bag, what is it called, the embryonic bag in the womb. So I was feeding on his energies, he was feeding on my energies, and he was called Claude. So I'm not Claude, I'm Alexandra, which oddly takes me back to the self a bit, even though I'm not linked with her as such, because I'm linked to the consciousness, who's in the same parallel life is also a self. And I was meant to be more self than human, but I wasn't able to, really. So this thing with the open DNA is I've got to be careful of not picking on things, not accepting any being information into me, not accepting any contract with anything other than directly from my consciousness. And the last question, which I am so glad I asked, no, not the last question, previous to last, the paralysis during the night, I've got to be careful because it's a co-creation. And because my DNA is open, things or beings will try to get in. So I've been told during the night to protect myself before bed and connect with my consciousness, asking directly for guarding. So I make an intention in case I forget before sleep, that my consciousness, and uniquely my consciousness, what I am, beyond this body and my senses, be with me, teaching me every night how to close my DNA or energies or doors so nothing comes during sleep. which is not fully for our mutual benefit of my consciousness, or the consciousness and me with the consciousness property, and my body also. So the last question then was Bashar. Guy-Emmanuel asked about Bashar. My consciousness laughed. That was brilliant. And Bashar is genuine, and he is an old friend, but we don't know if it's an old friend in time and space or an old friend since I met Bashar. And the consciousness said, Bashar, he makes me laugh. And Guy-Emmanuel asked about whether Bashar was genuine. Were there some things that I didn't agree with? And the consciousness laughed again and said, I don't even listen to him. Which is really funny because, like, I was playing a Bashar video yesterday, a replay of things, and my thoughts kept going elsewhere, and I kept like having to rewind. I wanted really to hear a passage where he talked about plant medicine, what some people call plant medicine, which is psychedelic plants. And I really wanted to hear his point of view, and I just kept being interrupted or by someone or my thoughts or the dog or something I was doing. I can't just listen to this bloody passage. And that made me laugh because, as you may know on here, for some of you may have heard some of my videos that I've talked with Bashar face to face, well, video to video once, and he's also answered a question directly. So I was on Hello Flyers. He's answered a question directly to me before, which I felt a really strong connection. And when I spoke to him screen to screen, it was last October, and I was still in my old state before a lot of opening has happened since. And I was just not able to be myself. I was like this. And I did my best to look beautiful that day on the video, to do my hair really nice. And when I look back at the video, all I see is not a beautiful anything. It's like, so, yes, Bashar, so pleased, so grateful, like that. And I couldn't relax. No, I couldn't fucking relax. I couldn't speak to him. I couldn't be myself. And I was like, oh, it's such another, it's Bashar. I can't find my voice. And I did find a bit of a voice eventually, but I was so annoyed with myself because I said the wrong thing. And then I was really upset, like for weeks afterwards. I was really upset with myself because I was not able to be myself. I was some other version of me that is just the worst of all my childhood, all my teenagehood, where I was disconnected. Couldn't be myself. I felt watched everywhere around me. I felt everybody was judging me for anything I was doing. It was just like that. And after that, I don't want to speak to Bashar ever again. It went wrong. I don't want it. But now we've talked about Bashar, and my consciousness laughed and said it's an old friend. I'm thinking it would be quite cool to speak to him again. I'd quite like to really. But except my consciousness said afterwards, talked again about Bashar. And she said, yes, you can listen to Bashar. It's beneficial, but I would rather you listen to me rather than you listen to Bashar. Oh, thank you, consciousness. That's so cute. I can hear. Bashar doesn't laugh, but I can see him laughing on that. This is really cool. So, yeah, Bashar. So, yes, I said it was Bashar was a a genuinely beneficial entity. And she described this planet. She said, we are the planet, or she said he's created his planet and he was his planet. She didn't pick on the fact that the whole race of Bashar's type, contact specialists, assassins types. But she described the planet just like he describes it, so she picked on something. An old friend, eh? Right. So this session of HRE, this second session, does link back to the first session I had where Nais said, I had DNA that was very interesting for them because I could see far, I was speedy, really fast DNA, and I could see really far, which is very similar to what she said today. So they've encouraged me to develop my psychic abilities, not by trying to get into hypnotic things, even though I still would like to be able to be mediumship-like. I'm pretty stuck with drawing now. No, I'm not. Don't take it to heart. You can do whatever you feel drawn to and your energy will come out in it. And what she said was that, like all of us, I've got the capacity to help others see who they are. Truly. Not the fake version of themselves. Not the mask, not the conditionment. Excuse me. Oh, what an amazing session. So much. I can't wait for the session to come out. Will it be in yet? I don't know. I'll stop the videos there and upload that for you who are so keen, I'm sure, to see the result of my second HRE. Yes, that's toxin as well, isn't it? Come on, my body, you can detox now. We're going to be so light. You're going to drain all this and remove everything I don't need anymore. She said all the things on the sessions, but I'm not sharing them with you. We talked afterwards. We can't share everything. Oh, she did share that there was some envy and jealousy in my family. But that it didn't matter. So much resonated today. All of it resonated. So thank you, Guy-Emmanuel. Thank you, Nelly. And thank you, Nice. And thank you, John, for my birthday present.